Welcome and thank everyone for coming. My name is Jean Steffens and I'm a real estate agent with REMAX Plaza.
I'm Megan Carpenter with Dixon Design Studio.
My name's J.D. Haltz. I'm with James D. Haltz and Associates.
When you're deciding to sell, and most of you obviously are at least considering selling at some point. I've talked to a few of you. You've been here a while. For a number of reasons, you're at the point where you're thinking, gee, what will I do? How will I do this? So I put together quite a packet of information for you. This is going to be an overview as far as my end of it. So what's the first step that you're going to do? Well, before you actually put your home up for sale, it's recommended to do a few things. And the first thing, probably, if you've been in the home for a while, you're going to want to perhaps get a home inspection. It's called a pre-sale home inspection. Some people would like to use this pre-inspection. When you do sell your home, the buyer's going to do a home inspection. But this is for you to say, okay, well, maybe we need to if you have a single family, the roof needs to be done. Then you're prepared for it when you do get a contract and the buyer does the home inspection, and they say, well, the roof needs to be replaced. Well, you know for sure you had the inspector give you a report. That's recommended. Organizing and cleaning. Believe me, I moved from a big house quite a few years ago, so by the time I got here to Del Webb, my garage, my two-car garage is a two-car garage. I can get things in and out of it, but a lot of my neighbors still have things that they brought with them because of memory's sake, or they think, they thought maybe they would use it, so they can't get into the garage. So that's another important thing too. You want everything to be neutral and clean so people can see everything, not your items, but the space. So that would be the best thing to do. And the other thing is you're going to have to do it anyway. So you might as well do it prior to listing. You can get replacement costs for any of the repairs, as I was referring to with the home inspection. You can just get an idea, because sometimes when you're negotiating the contract, that maybe the seller would say, well, we need a new roof, and they're thinking, well, they're going to take off X amount of dollars. This way you'll have data that you can use to make sure that it's realistic. And then locate your warranties, and then spruce up the curb appeal. And that just means, obviously, the flowers, the landscaping, the grass, and what have you, if you need to replace things. So in the packet that I have back there and am giving to everyone, this is going to be a step-by-step of what you really need to do. The first step is, of course, you're going to decide to sell. And then the second step would be research the market. A lot of people are pretty computer literate and use the computer all the time, and they're looking at all the various different sites to see what's going on. The beauty about using a realtor, of course, is I have the MLS, and at any moment I can tell you what has sold and what it's sold for, how many days it's sold in our area. The third thing is select an agent. Important thing about selecting the agent is, of course, it's got to be someone who is invested in your particular situation and wanting to sell your home or townhouse. So you have to pick someone who has the type of personality you feel comfortable working with. And so that's very important to pick the agent. And the agent will do what we call a CMA. You've probably heard it. It's a comparative market analysis. And that's where I would go to your house and you would show me around and give me a tour and tell me what you've done new in the last few years. Maybe you had new appliances, or maybe you had the driveway done. If you're single family, you would have to have the driveway done on your own, or whatever situation. Brand new. A lot of the people I know came in and took all the carpeting out of the homes and said, that's it, no more carpeting. We're going to do hardwood flooring. Well, that's expensive, so that's important for me to know. So you're going to give me the checklist of everything that you have done to the home, because of course that's going to increase the value and the list price. So then after we sit there, it could be a half an hour, 45 minutes, you might ask me some questions, and then I will go back to my office and then I'll put together a report. And the report I use is not Realtor.com, not Zillow, not any of those websites out there. We don't use that when we come up with a comparative market analysis. We use the data that's in the MLS. And when I say the data, it's everything that has sold, listed and sold. We have proof that it was this house with these amenities, sold for this price in this many days, and at what list price. Was it 99% of list price? Was it 98% of list price? And what that means is how much did you have to come off? Well, you probably have done a lot of reading and you know that it's a seller's market. It still is a seller's market. So what that means for you is many times we'll put it on the market and it will come in where you're going to get offers right away. We have a unique audience here in Del Webb, and we have a unique market. People are constantly moving. They're coming from big houses. They live here, like some of you have lived here 20 years, 25 years, and then you're moving on. Either you're moving out of state, moving with family. Sometimes it's going into independent living, whatever the reasons are, it's constantly changing here. However, this is a beautiful community, and when you have friends and family come, when I was setting up here today, a couple came over and said, oh, what is this about? We're here with our uncle, and he's giving us the tour. People know it's great, and our values have gone up significantly in the last few years. And because it is beautiful and because it's maintained very well, that's very important. And we've got a wonderful reputation as being a great place to live. And if you've been here for a while, you know it yourselves. So that would be part of the CMA, or the comparative market analysis. So when I do the report, then I come back, I sit down, I go over all the data with you and explain. I would give you this range. Often I don't say it's only going to be that price. I like to give a little bit of a range there because you have lived in the house and you perhaps have an idea of what you would like to get in terms of the price. The next thing is pricing your home. That's part of the CMA. We did talk briefly about preparing the home, but once you do get to the point where I give you the price, you're probably at the point where you're going to list with me and sign the listing agreement and all the documents. So you still may need to do some of the preparing afterwards. Maybe some minor things that you want to do. But basically, preparing ahead of time would make that process a lot better, because if you're ready to list, you don't want to spend the next 3 or 4 weeks of market time, losing the market time, especially now when it's really nice. Spring market, fall market's good too. You don't want to lose that time. So do all the prep work. If you need to paint, get some handyman or painter in and get it painted. Do whatever you need to do before you get to the spot where we're sitting down. I'm telling you, your house is going to be worth X, or this range of X, and let's go with it. So that's what I would recommend. And then marketing the home, of course, that's my job. We, of course, put it into the MLS where There are thousands of agents who come from all over the area. I know over the years you've probably talked to a lot of neighbors. People come to Del Webb from lots of different suburbs, out of town, what have you. So that would be the MLS, and then many dozens, it's too numerous for us to count anymore, websites where they have what we call is reciprocity. That means my company, REMAX Plaza, lets ABC Realty use our listings. So we have reciprocity, so it means a lot of people will see your listing. Of course, before it's listed, I hire a professional photographer to take really nice pictures for your home. And then once it's in there, it starts to market. Then you start getting the showings. The showings, the way the instructions would be, we want, please no showings before a certain time, or we're free for the showings. And then the showing time is where the agents make their showing appointments. So they'll call you. They won't just show up, never show up. They'll just say, oh, well, we have a showing from 1 to 3. Is that all right? And then you just say, yes. Or can you make it a little later? I will tell you, the more you say no to showings, the less you're gonna, the longer it will take to sell, obviously. So if you could also be out of the home, take a walk, go somewhere, shop. Don't be there, because buyers today, for many years, I should say, are used to being alone in the house. Now, because the problem is they want to look and they don't want to offend, and they may want to open the closet, but if you're standing in the other room, they'll feel uncomfortable. So the way the business is run now is the sellers leave. So that would be the thing to do. And then when we get the offers, many times today, it will be more than one offer. Often it's that way. So then at that point, I will help you negotiate with this offer from the other buyer's agent. The buyer's agent and the listing agent work back and forth. We don't get to JD until after we go back and forth. So I help you with all of that. So what will happen is they'll come in with this price, and then you say, well, no, I'd like this price. You're countering. I'm taking the information back to the other agent. I'm giving you my advice, and if you're asking what you think, and then if you have multiple offers, prior to giving you the multiple offers, I will set up, okay, this one is a great offer, it's cash. You can't beat cash. Okay, this one, next one is financing only. Okay, then the next one, they still have to sell their home. Or they have a house, but they haven't listed it. So those are the orders, the cash being first. So I would line them up and say, here are the 3 cash offers. Now, what do you want to counter with? So that's how it works. And then the buyer, after it's negotiated, then the contracts are sent to the attorneys, and then also we do the buyer will be doing any inspections they want. Typical, they'll do a home inspection, that definitely. If it's an older, well, these houses were built after 78, so we don't have to worry about lead-based paint. And so typically what will happen is the buyers will do home inspection. They might do radon inspection. And so then after that report is done, then the attorneys, we see what the seller, or I should say the buyer, wants for you to pay for. So then you're not only working with me, you would be working with your attorney too. And 2 of us would work back and forth. He is the legal person. I fill in the blanks. He interprets everything, the law. So in Illinois, we still have attorneys helping facilitate the real estate transaction, and thank goodness from most of us who say that same thing. So then at that point, everything goes well. you're ready to close, you get all of the other things, you pack up and you're ready to move, and then the closing happens. And these are essentially the 11 steps. There are 180 other different steps, literally. I've done the research on it, and there are articles written about all the things that the realtors do. But that's essentially what you need to do. Now we're going to leave time for questions and answers after our presentations, and then we'll be happy to help you. So if you do have any questions, make sure that if you need some paper, we have some extra paper in the back. You can jot it down too. So I think essentially I'm going to give it over to Megan, because Megan's situation would come prior to.
So a little bit about the company. The company started in 2010. It started as a landscape architecture company. Sharon expanded it, so now we also do land planning, we do redesign, we do staging, and we also do color. So that's just a little bit about the company. We're just in Lake in the Hills. We want to reimagine the places and spaces people live, shop, work, and play. We do residential and commercial properties all over the Chicagoland area. We're a small team. There's only 3 of us. So Sharon and Jeff both do the exterior, so the landscape and the land planning. And then my job is more the interior in more residential homes. So I do the redesign, staging, and color. Redesign is just exploring what you already have in your home. We refresh what you already have. We look at the floor plan, we reevaluate. It's like a softer version of interior design. And then we also do color. So color is the foundation of anybody's home. I think people struggle a lot with color. There's times when you go in and you paint something and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's not the right color. So we follow a 6-step color process to get you to the perfect color planned home. All right, and then why you're here today. So we stage and neutralize your home to appeal to the most buyers, leading to swift sales and the potential for higher offer sales. We do vacant stages. We do occupied stylized stage. So occupied means you're already in your home, you have things that we can use. And then we do consultations. So that's kind of just a walk and talk where I would go through and have a conversation with you, and maybe you would do the staging on your own, okay? All right, so staging versus decorating. Many people think that staging and decorating are the same thing, and they're really not. There's quite a difference between the two. Decorating is about your personal style, what you like, things that are good for you. So the way you decorate your home for your own enjoyment is way different from the way you're gonna market your home for your potential sale, okay? Staging is not about your personal style or displaying your collections. The way we function day to day is perfect for us. However, when you decide to list your home for sale, you must think about how to properly merchandise your home so that it appeals to the majority of buyers, okay? That's why we talk a lot about neutral, because the majority of buyers, when you come in and see things neutral, that's easier to see. It's easier on the eye. All right, so then I just had some pictures for you. This is actually a community called Caroline. I don't know if anybody's familiar, in Pingree Grove. So this home, if you look at the before picture, I know they're kind of small, but, oops, did I get in the way? But we have some recliners and just some extra pieces. So we removed the recliners, we pulled it up, and we really highlighted the fireplace because that's a feature of the home. She had a lot of nice colors already going on. We just added a rug and kind of made it open and cleaner and neater. Really simple. In this picture, this was in Hawthorne Woods. Just really looking at the kitchen and totally, taking down all the clutter. We took down the window treatments to make it fresh and airy. I mean, those are beautiful. It went right outside to the backyard. We wanted everybody to see that when they came in the home. So a lot of simple things that can be done without a lot of extra money. This one is actually in Del Webb. This is a smaller unit. And this one is already contingent. I think it was contingent in like 3 days. So this one was vacant, so we added some vignettes in just to kind of warm up the space and give it, a warm feeling so people, when they came in, they kind of knew what to use the space for. The biggest question I get asked, do you really need staging? Yes, you do. Buyers need to visualize themselves living in the home. According to the NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, they did a survey. 81% of buyers found it easier to visualize the property of their future home when it was staged. They want to see what the room is. They want to know what those rooms are. Sometimes there's small rooms and they don't know what to use those rooms for. Could it be an exercise room? Could it be an office? Could it be a small den where you just read in that room? Home flaws can be overlooked. 1/3 of buyers will overlook property flaws when things are staged. because they can see what it's needed for. They can see what you can do with it. They can see what can happen if they move forward. Home buyers expected. How many of you guys watch HGTV, Magnolia Home, any of those shows? Yeah? Every one of them are staged. Do you ever notice? They're all staged. That's what buyers expect to see. And I know that that's kind of, different from what it probably was 20 years ago, but people expect that, so you want to show them that. And then your online photos. I can't say this enough. 95% of buyers will look online first before coming to the home, before even calling an agent. So you need to get it staged before it goes on the market. That should be kind of your second step after you're getting your agent, is to get it staged, because that's your first impression. If they see the pictures and it doesn't look good, they might not come out at all, and you want them to come out. This one was in Huntley. This is in Tullamore. This one, she didn't have any furniture. This was right through the front door when you walked in. So we were able to use some furniture from another space and just put some neutral decor, added in a table, and it's really welcoming. We opened up the windows, the window treatments. Now when you come in, you're feeling like you're home. This one, we needed to personalize it. It had a lot of accolades, a lot of awards, a lot of photos, so we just took that all down and kind of cleaned up the shelves and made it clean and neat, made the space look bigger. And these are just some small vignettes that we do. I just kind of pulled them out. The thing to always remember is to group in 3s or 5s. Everything should be kind of an odd number. It's easier to group things that way. It's kind of a rule of thumb. This one again is in Del Webb. We just did a small vignette stage. So it was an empty bedroom, but it just feels better when you're walking in there than just seeing an empty floor space. Some other statistics. These are from RESA, which is the Real Estate Staging Association. So staged homes sell faster. They're averaging 23 days on the market. They sell 9 days faster than unstaged homes. 85% of them sold between 5 and 23% over list price. That's averaging $40,000. With an average investment of only 1%, you get approximately 75% of staged sellers had a return of investment of 5 to 15% over asking price. So the investment of 1.3 in staging is an average of 7.1 over the list price. So here's your cheat sheet. So some of the things that you can do ahead of time, you can do on your own, is disassociate. Think about your home as a product. It's something you need to sell to move on to where you want to go. So you need to not think of it so much as your home and where you're going to be, but something as a product. Commit to the process. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to do things you probably don't want to do, maybe. But it equals the rewards. You're going to get something great out of it. Get help. You can always use a professional stager. And the packing starts now. You're gonna have to pack no matter what, so why not start now? I always think about it in 3 steps, and this is the same thing I do, is you get 3 boxes, and you make 1 for packing, make 1 for trash, and make 1 for donations. You're already gonna have to do it anyways. You know what you're gonna pack and take with you. You can trash the stuff you don't want, and then you can donate the other things. And you could do it room by room. You don't have to take everything on all at once. Fix it, make the repairs. Most likely when you do have to do the home inspection, they're gonna find things already. If you know about those things, go ahead and fix them. It kind of cuts it out, it's done. It's something the buyers won't have to pick out and maybe won't buy your house because of those things, because you've already done those. Photo rules, really depersonalizing, removing personal items makes a huge difference. Declutter, clear out the accessories. Some little things to remember, anything that's over 4 years old and you don't feel connected to, those things can probably be donated. And anything smaller than a baseball kind of clutters things up. So think about things like that. Anything that small, maybe those are things you want to pack and move to your next home. Lighting makes a huge difference. This is something I always say. You want to open up all the windows for the pictures, for the open house, for anybody that comes in the home. And then look at your old window treatments. Are they dusty? Are they dirty? Do they need to be cleaned? Do they need to be repaired? Modernizing. I know you don't want to spend a lot on this home, but some small things you can do are buy fresh pillows, live plants or fake plants. I use fake plants all the time. Nowadays, you can't even tell anymore. White towels make a huge difference in the bathroom. Just hanging one, maybe you don't use those ones till the house sells, but they really make things look clean and neat, and it's a very inexpensive way to freshen things up. And then outsource. If you need help with anything, whether it's the repairs or anything like that, you can always ask your broker. They have a list of vendors to help you with that. This one was also in Del Webb. So this one, we just made it clean and neat. We kind of pulled the furniture together and just cleaned off the countertops. This one also sold quickly, I think under 10 days. This one was in November. This is the same home, but this is the front room. I don't know if anybody has this model. So he had a lot of great furniture. We just kind of cleaned and neat and got rid of some of the accessories. And then this one was just kind of dark and didn't have a lot of personality. So we lightened it up with the window treatments. We softened it by adding a rug and some upholstered chairs and giving it just one clean color palette, which is kind of a blue-green. And this one is a vacant stage that was in Carillon also, and just some small vignettes to kind of make it feel homey and welcome. So staging for success. Proper preparation of a residential property sets us up for success, ideally before it's even listed. So like I said, you want to do this before you even put it on the market, because once it's out there, you can't kind of take those pictures back. You can't move back. Carefully arranging furniture, decor, and artwork with purpose highlights the property's best features. That's what you want to do, is you want to highlight the best features of the home, whether it's the windows, the fireplace, the floors. Making it appealing to potential buyers and allowing listing photos to be the most impactful. Each buyer needs to envision themselves living in this space. The goal really is to maximize the property's appeal and sale potential. Preparing for your open house. This would also be preparing for, just having people come through your house. But remove any clutter. We already hit on that. Any extra furniture you put in storage, or maybe you need to give that away. Packing up, sorry, I know it says toys. I use this one. Toys, shoes. And reduce the number of items on the shelf. Upgrade your curb appeal. I know that Jean hit on this, but freshen up the paint on the front door, replace any faded numbers, add a welcome mat, maybe just one plant out there. Organize your closets and pantries. Buyers look in there, they always do, but if they're clean, neat, and organized, they're gonna appear bigger and look neater. Take out the trash. Make any needed repairs. I know we hit on that one already. Clean the windows, wipe down, obviously, the glass doors, the inside and out of the windows, and all the sills. Turn on the lights and open the blinds. I hit on that one before. And then clean your house from top to bottom, paying attention to the counters, the floors, shelves, and the mirrors. Tidying up your landscape, make sure the grass is cut, bushes are trimmed, any dead plants, and then hide and secure all your valuables and any kind of personal things you don't want people seeing, your medications, your jewelry, your laptop. Clean the outside of the fridge, remove like magnets or any invitations or photos that might be up there. And then even setting out flowers, snacks, and a water bottle. And sometimes the real estate agent will do that as well for you. So that's it for me. I'll give it off to JD.
I'm an attorney in Crystal Lake. My firm focuses in real estate of all types. We do wills, estates, and trusts also. What I passed out to you is a guide that's been prepared by the Illinois State Bar Association. The question is, as formatted, how can your attorney help you? If you note, there are certain items that are listed in the first section that if you can possibly derive these before you list your property, it would be very helpful in the future. A title insurance policy that you would have received at the time that you purchased your property. The last deed that was sent to you at the time that you purchased the property. The deeds are always recorded in the county's records, but the original came back to you. The survey that you had at the time that you bought your property. Every parcel of real estate in the Chicago metro area has a survey that must be presented at the time of closing when you actually are going to sell your property to the next person. Many times we can use the previously existing survey, and that will save you between $500 and $700. If you have an outstanding mortgage, we would like to see any information that relates to that. We don't have to see the mortgage document because that was recorded in the county's records, but we would like to know if you can give us who you currently make your mortgage payments to, the loan number, and the contact information for the lender. As you go forward on the next page, if you flip over, these are items that we provide our assistance so that you can get, because many times people ask, well, what does the attorney do? He's going to be at closing with me, and he may be the one that actually closes the transaction without the seller being present, which is common as to what we do. These items that we list are what we have to go through as a process prior to the actual completion of the transaction. So, item number one, we obtain the payoff statement from your existing lender or lenders. Now, the title will be pulled, and in the title, it's going to tell us that you could have a possible unexpected lien or encumbrance on your title. It happens regularly, and we work to resolve those issues. We help you select the title company that will be used for the purposes of doing the search, trying to give you the best value possible in the marketplace. In the contract that you sign, it is agreed that the seller will be responsible for obtaining the title insurance in order to sell your property. We will assist you in the necessary inspections. Now, here we're talking about it is required in the state of Illinois, if you happen to be accepting a VA mortgage buyer, a termite inspection must be obtained. And it's at the cost of the seller, okay? The veteran is being protected. Radon is a common item that you will find is going to be in this geographic location. There's going to be testing done. Almost all buyers will pay the extra fee to have a radon test done. As a result of anything falling above the norm, remediation would be required, and so we can assist you in obtaining the necessary personnel in order to conduct that. Also, we maintain listing of staffs that can help you with the carpentry work, the touch-up, the things that need the repair on your property. We'll assist in the completion of the residential real property disclosure form. This is a form that is required in the state of Illinois. Your realtor will assist you initially, but there may be questions raised as to what you may have conducted as a repair. Is it necessary to disclose that? Such as items of roof leakage, water in the basement, issues that may have caused problems to you in the past, but you've conducted remediation. We would like to review with you what the current status is of your real estate tax billing. Many of you will qualify for senior exemptions or senior freezes, or you may have deferred your real estate tax and that the state of Illinois must be contacted in order to obtain the necessary final information to satisfy the obligations that you have as the property owner. We assist you in that, and we conduct that portion for you. We prepare all of the final closing figures. The title company will rely on us to prepare all of the numbers that will be reflected on the seller side of the closing statement. As we gather that information, which includes the payoff letters and the items from your lender, those numbers will be added into the final settlement statement. Prior to closing, we will give you the best estimate. The final statement will come within 24 to 48 hours, showing what your final bottom line will be. And then we will review that with you at that time. We prepare all of the conveyance documents. In the state of Illinois, attorneys prepare all of the documents in order for you to pass the title to the buyer. The title company does not do that. It has been determined that would be the unlicensed practice of law. So you must have assistance with this unless you happen to be an attorney or a paralegal, and you can handle your own. As a paralegal, though, do not reach out to someone else and attempt to do the documentation for them. That would be a criminal offense. Any disputes that may arise. Now, here's where we come into the area, is that individuals, as they conduct the home inspection, may come back to you and say, hey, I found all of these items and we want a credit. We want a $10,000 credit because we think that your roof is too old and the shingles are starting to curl. We will work with you in order to resolve that, but many times the initial request is beyond what the scope of normal is. And so our goal is to get you into the range of what is realistic, based upon estimates, and we again can assist you in being able to respond to those items. We attend the closing on your behalf. It is not necessary as a seller that you attend. Many times what we do is the seller's busy relocating. They're packing, they're putting the final touches to the property so that when the buyer does the walkthrough, we don't have any issues that are raised. So as a result of that, we prepare all of the closing documents in advance. Those would be presented to you. You're given the opportunity to review them with us. You execute them in advance, and then we will attend the closing on your behalf. Your funds are then made available to you, normally within the 24-hour window following. We will assist you in what we call post-closing matters. Well, what would that be? We get a telephone call. The buyer moved into the property and the laundry tub had a plugged drain. The sewer line backed up. The septic tank doesn't work. And they want to come back to you as the seller and tell you, hey, you owe us for this. Well, not necessarily. If they had the opportunity for full inspection, which should have been done by the buyer, then we're in a situation that the transaction is a closed transaction and we would have to assist you in letting them know that there would be no contributions coming from you. These are items that are presented by the Illinois State Bar Association. These are items that we do every day, okay? It would be new to you, it's old to us, okay? We make it a part of our everyday practice. We make ourselves available so that we can answer your questions along the way, both via email and also via phone call. We like to communicate with our clients. There are 3 attorneys in the firm. We have 5 paralegals, so you'll find that we answer the phone when others don't. So perhaps one of the most important things today. We look forward to having the opportunity to work with you and to answer any questions that you might have. We feel as though that this is probably one of the largest adventures that many people have to undertake as they begin the process of relocation.